everybody. Welcome back to Foreplay Sports Bar. I'm Scott Taylor. This is Darren Dunn. It's guest week. Kurt Keelback is off at his cottage. Where would you rather be for the July 1st weekend? So we've got a number of guests we're bringing in today for the 360 Sports Report here at Foreplay Sports Bar. I want to get together with Darren, talk about a number of the things that are coming up at Assiniboia Downs. The big attraction, August 6th, is the Manitoba Derby. What kind of horses can we expect this year?
Well, you know what? We've got a monster out there, Scott. We've talked about before in Beluga Bowl. Possibly the nicest horse I've ever seen in my 30-plus years at Assiniboia Downs. The only issue is really the competition for him, as in who wants to race against him. He's the 800-pound gorilla, arguably maybe even in Western Canada. The Derby's $75,000. That's not $150 or $200. It's not Woodbine money, but it's enough prestige, enough history with the race, and certainly bragging rights. And 60% of that's not bad change for coming into Winnipeg and trying to steal it. But I mean, the road to the winner's circle in the Manitoba Lotteries Derby goes through Beluga Bowl. He's undefeated, 6 races, 6 wins. We'll see him again in the Harry Jeffrey on July the 14th. And we'll see if he can go a distance of ground. He handily won the Golden Boy at 6 furlongs in early June. The layoff of about 5 to 6 weeks might come into play a little bit, but he's got to run a mile and a 16th.
Right.
He's got to run 2 turns. That's tough to do. It's a learning experience for any horse, so we'll find out if he's vulnerable at all, but all signs are he's just a killer, plain and simple.
Are we going to see any invaders from Canterbury, from Woodbine?
We're already hitting, our doors getting knocked a little bit, but more tire kicking right now, Scott, to get an idea. You might see a horse from Arlington. You might see a horse from Prairie Meadows. Alberta's got a stake race around the same time. The purse is a little lower, but it's more their prep for the Canadian Derby, 3rd week of August. So it's tough to say whether or not we'll get any out of Alberta. And if we do, it'll probably be maybe a Tier 2 kind of horse. But Beluga Bull's scaring them all away right now, and I'm not even sure what kind of field size I'm going to get for the Manitoba Lotteries Derby. But it's nice to deal with an animal like this, and just such a rare one at that.
Now, if you don't know anything about horse racing, and there's a lot of people that don't, because when I started out at the Downs going regularly in the late 1970s, there was a certain aura about it that it was the sport of kings, and
Sure.
it was big time. But you've never had more opportunities for people to get involved in wagering, get involved in ownership, just get involved in Assiniboia Downs than you have right now.
Oh, and that's absolutely true. And you're right. It has that certain air about it that to own a horse, you got to be, you got to have some serious backing to wallet. But truth be told, in this day and age, it's all about syndicates and stables. Half a dozen people getting together. You minimize your exposure on the expense side, and you can still raise your glass in victory or defeat at the end of the day after a race at the barn or at Assiniboia Downs. But, we encourage people to go to asdowns.com. All kinds of free wagering information, introductory opportunity to really understand how to get involved in ownership, how to get involved in just laying a simple wager. ABC, amount bet choice, $2 to win on number 5. It's that simple, and you're in the game. And free parking, free admission. Come on out. We have the seminars with you that are going really well.
They're going extremely well, yeah.
And it breaks things down. It makes it very easy. It's not an intimidating sport if you take a moment and have a little patience.
I think if you learn how to place a wager, it's the most fun you can have for $2.
Well, it's a tremendous ride. Certainly, I'm a little biased in saying that, but at the same time, it's not a quick spin. It's not over and done with the flip of a card. You get a couple of minutes. You take maybe 2 to 5 minutes to handicap a race or longer. You get a chance to look at the horse in the paddock, gauge the numbers, almost like picking a stock to a degree. As you talked about earlier, pick a jockey, pick a trainer, look who the leaders are, look where the trends are going. So you really are betting. It's called pari-mutuel wagering. You're betting against the guy across the table from you. There's no house fix situation. The gate's open. We take a commission. We return the rest to the betting public. It does not matter what comes in from our standpoint, and that's something that's a common misconception. I could care less if a long shot or a favorite wins. It doesn't matter to me as the house. It's you against the guy across the room or the lady across the room, and so really put your thinking cap on, apply a little thought, and you know what? For 10 minutes and $2, you can have a blast.
If you want to learn how to do it, take $100. Take your credit card, go to horseplayerinteractive.com.
Sure.
Great way to learn how. I got hooked on it this weekend. I got to tell you.
In a responsible way, we know that.
Responsible way, but it's in your program at the Downs, how to do it, how to get on. But I found it this weekend, and I just had a great 3 days of $2 wagers. It was
Wonderful.
really fun.
Well, it is. HPI.com. It's Canada's largest legal being the emphasis, internet wagering site for horse racing. We partnered with Woodbine on it. They put it together. But you get replays, you get programs, you can download handicapping information, watch the races live, wager on the races from your deck, as you mentioned, and or from the comfort of your basement or something like that on a computer. They've got an interactive device for your phone app It's just tremendous.
I said this weekend I want to bet Woodbine, so I went in and got my computer and set it up outside. I'm betting Woodbine, and then I thought, well, Belmont looks interesting, so I had Belmont up, and then Monmouth is a pretty good track. So
Tremendous.
I had 3 tracks going at the same time. I got exactor wagers, I got everything going, and it's HPI.com.
That'll do it.
Really is a lot of fun. We've got the Derby coming up. We've got all sorts of stake races coming up in July. It's a busy July, and there'll be lots of Wednesday racing starting next week. So we're back into the Wednesday racing. Darren Dunn, thank you very much.
Thanks,
this
Scott.
is Major Misconduct. No misconducts today, just minor penalties. I'm the coach, Scott Taylor. That is Darren Dunn. We'll be back with Mike Davidson to talk hockey right after this on the 360Winnipeg.ca Sports Report, live from Fort Place Sports Bar.